Hey friends, welcome back to the Mindful Muscle Podcast. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're tuning in. I'm Jodi, and normally I'm joined by my co-host Gio, but he had a last minute work snafu, so it's just me today. But we're hoping to get back together recording real soon because it's really been a minute since we've had a chance to record together, and I miss talking to him. Gio and I are two friends who went on our own health and wellness journeys and have collectively lost and maintained over 140 pounds. But more importantly, we fell in love with the process of prioritizing our health. So much so that both of us have become certified personal trainers and nutritionists. And we're here to show others, especially the beginner, that sustainable change is not only possible, but you are absolutely worth the effort. So this week is actually a really special week for me. It marks my 8-year health anniversary. It's the anniversary of the doctor's appointment that kicked off my own health journey. Now, previously, Ju and I have done episodes where each of us goes into detail what we would do differently on our health and wellness journeys if we were starting over again tomorrow. But let's flip that around. What things have I used, whether it's food items or apps or clothing? What has pretty much stayed the same throughout the 8-year journey? I'm going to dive into that today. So, thank you for joining in. And if you are new, I invite you to check out some previous episodes that include my best friend, Gio. Before we dive in, what is a health anniversary? I kind of alluded to it already, but 8 years ago on July 11th, I was over 230 pounds and I was experiencing heart palpitations. I went to the doctor and turns out I have high blood pressure and the heart palpitations was just a symptom rearing its ugly head of the hypertension. So I was put on an EKG machine that day and just to see if my hypertension damaged my heart. Fortunately, it didn't, but that appointment scared me to no end. Before that health scare, I was a repeat yo-yo dieter. And always for the wrong reasons. It would always be because, well, maybe if I quote unquote looked better, maybe more people would like me because I didn't like myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. Or, hey, this mom group, they're currently on a diet. I'm just going to do it so I can get the socialization. That's really sad. But that felt like the norm back then. That day scared me to no end, but it turned out to be the biggest blessing. So sometimes the moments that break you really make you and lead to positive change. So if you are in similar shoes, you've got this, you're not alone, and I see you. All right, starting off. So if you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, I am going to be showing our YouTube viewers the products, but I am going to be very descriptive. But if you're listening to the audio version, I invite you to check out the YouTube version or follow us on Instagram because I will also be sharing this information there as well. Okay, first things first, I am a coffee drinker. Not only a coffee drinker, my coffee needs to taste like dessert type of person. I wish I could be one of those individuals that can drink black coffee. I can't. It's just nasty tasting to me. So, Lakanto monk fruit. Now, this is Lakanto powdered monk fruit sweetener. Not exactly what I use in my coffee, but it turns out that I'm out. It's very similar package, except for it's red. And it's a 0-calorie sweetener. And I've tried stevia, I've tried other 0-calorie sweeteners, and monk fruit was the only one that gave me hope that in order to succeed in this journey, that I could still enjoy some foods. I thought maybe I'd have to give up my beloved coffee or I'd have to like choke it down even though I hated the taste of it. So monk fruit has been amazing. I've used it in other things as well. I also use it in overnight oats. I don't bake very much. Baking is not something that I enjoy doing. So if I am going to take the time to bake, I usually just follow what the recipe says. And if it says sugar, I will use sugar, or I might do 2 parts sugar and 1 part monk fruit just to cut the calories a little bit. But baking, I'm not sure. But if you are listening and you have experience baking with it, whether good or bad, comment on YouTube below. Next up, speaking of coffee, is I used to be at Dunkin' Donuts every day for an iced coffee, for a cold brew. And yes, all you can enjoy the food you like and your drinks that you like and work it into your calories, but they are so high. They can be really, the liquid calories can really nail your caloric budget. And I've tried the healthier swaps. Nasty, not good enough. Never mind the money that you spend every day getting coffee. So I got a cold brew pitcher. I actually have 2 of them that I keep in my refrigerator at all times. They're relatively inexpensive. I believe this one is $15. I will include my Amazon storefront in the show notes so you can see what I am referring to. But it's super easy. You just put coffee in the middle filter below, or middle filter inside, fill it up with cold water, and you let it steep for at least 16 hours. Now it is cold brew concentrate, so you should be adding water to kind of level it out. Made the mistake of not doing that properly and almost passed out in a store, not realizing that I was on coffee overdrive. So don't make that mistake. But between the monk fruit and the cold brew pitcher, and then adding protein powder, I usually use vanilla protein powder so I can get a jump start on my protein intake goals for the day. And I've been following this practice pretty much almost the entire 8-year health journey. So definitely highly recommend getting 2 so that once you're low on one, you already have one ready to go. Next up, when it comes to fitness. Now, Gio and I have done episodes about this, but I will say it again. When I first started, when I first going to the gym, I was scared. I was terrified. I was intimidated. Didn't want to be there. Didn't want to work with a personal trainer because all the personal trainers at my gym at the time looked like they'd rather be anywhere else but helping the client they were with. So I started using Fitbod. And Fitbod is a workout app. If you're whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, it can populate workouts for you. It has an algorithm to help track your progress and bump your weights up. It will ask you for your goals, your available equipment, and it will give you a workout. Not only give you a workout, but it'll actually show you what to do. So that was perfect for somebody like me who did not know what they were doing in the gym and didn't was too scared to ask somebody for help. I could actually see what I needed to do, and it has really made a huge impact on my life. Now, I am currently a certified personal trainer. I currently run 10 barbell weightlifting slash cardio classes. I don't need Fitbod's assistance to create workouts for me, but I can create my own in there and I can still keep track of my muscle recovery, which is important to me. I can keep track of what weights I use. Am I making progress forward? How fast did I run last time? It's still an amazing tool, and I am definitely a Fitbod person for life. Next up on my list is the workout clothing company, Constantly Varied Gear. When I started growing that consistency of going into the gym thanks to FitBod, I would wear really frumpy clothes to the gym. I'd wear sweatpants, I would wear baggy shirts. I was still in the mindset that I needed to hide and I wasn't worth taking up space. But started to change a little bit. My Once I lost a pant size the first 12 months, it just seemed like after that first pant size, I was dropping weight pretty significantly. I was going through clothing sizes pretty fast. And when I was on the treadmill with sweatpants on, they almost fell off. So from there, I stopped wearing sweatpants and I switched to leggings. So Constantly Varied Gear is one of the first companies that I tried when I was switching from frumpy sweatpants to leggings, because the thought was leggings, even if they're a little loose, they're not just going to drop on you when you're on the treadmill. So they have squat proof leggings, they have squat proof shorts. Most of her leggings and shorts have pockets, real pockets. So, ladies, if you probably know what I'm talking about, some of the faux pockets where you can't fit anything in there. No, these are actually really decent pockets, and to be squat proof is a big deal. But their shorts, their 5-inch shorts, have a rubbery grip in the inseam. So you don't have to worry about your shorts rolling up and showing your derriere to everybody. Also, I love their sports bras. Most of my sports bras are Constantly Varied Gear, and it's extremely rare if the pads come out in the wash. And because most of my sports bras are Constantly Varied Gear, it's very easy to figure out which pad goes to what. Usually it's no more than one, maybe two pads that come out if I'm doing an entire workout clothing load of wash. So definitely love their sports bras. I even got it's got their t-shirts, they have tumblers, but more importantly, I love this company because they're very women of all sizes, very size inclusive, and that health doesn't have a body type, that we should all have the opportunity to wear workout clothes for us to move, do movement we enjoy, movement we love, and clothes that makes us feel badass in. And I just love that mindset and approach. They do have a huge Facebook group, and very similar to what you and I have talked about in the past about the FitBod community. The Constantly Varied Gear community is top notch. I would say it's probably the most supportive Facebook group that I'm in. It's very women supporting women vibe, and I absolutely love that. But what I think is funny is, I just said I used to wear frumpy clothes to the gym. I used to wear sweatpants. When I first bought clothes from Constantly Varied Gear, I would do full length leggings and only their shirts with sleeves. I was still in the mindset of feeling like I shouldn't be wearing shorts. I shouldn't have my arms exposed. Oh, that sports bra is super cute, but what's the point of wearing a cute sports bra if nobody's ever going to see it? And now today, it's rare that I'm wearing leggings. I'm constantly wearing their shorts. I'm constantly wearing their long line sports bra instead of putting a shirt on. And it's a it's amazing how our mindset transforms more significantly than our physical body when we are prioritizing our health, especially when we're doing it out of love for ourselves. So, yeah, it's another short and sweet episode. Before I close this out, I wanted to just give a short update. The last solo episode I recorded was leading into my husband's surgery. My husband was in a head-on collision with a drunk driver on June 14th. And our car has not been officially totaled, but there's no way it's not going to be totaled. All the airbags went off. The whole portion of my husband's car was mangled. And it is an absolute miracle that his injuries were his left hand. He had a fracture to his second metacarpal. We also found out right before surgery that his third metacarpal was fractured and knocked out of place. And he had a lot of bruising in his abdomen from the seatbelt. It is a miracle that he's alive, and that is the extent of his injuries, but it's still going to be a bumpy road ahead of us. But we did finally see the arrest information from the other party. At least we are assuming that is the other party because it's the same police department, it's the same location, same date, same circumstances of driving the wrong way and being under the influence. And I won't release the name since I'm still going from an assumption, but what saddens me is the individual is listed to being 23 years old. My kids are 11 years old and 14-year-old. I have a 14-year-old. 23 is not even 10 years older than my oldest kid. And this wasn't their first offense from our understanding talking to the police. And it's so sad. I really hope that this is a wake-up call to them. I know individuals that have been in similar shoes with DUI accidents without involving another party, and they've completely turned their life around. And I really hope that this is the wake-up call this other person needs, and I'm hoping that my husband can heal and that he can do the things he wants to be able to do again, because it really sucks not having both your hands. It really does. You take it for granted. I would take it for granted, but yeah, hopefully we're on the road to recovery, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you are able to take away something from it. Definitely check out the Instagram post that will follow this episode drop. If you are listening to the audio version, again, check out our YouTube channel. That way you can see what I'm talking about. And definitely like and subscribe to Mindful Muscle today. Thank you for joining us.